Tough game today. Pitt bounced back well. We really came out strong. Felt like with the wind and some of the things we had a good advantage, and we jumped up 9-0. Maybe left a score on the field. We had a couple opportunities to get big plays and didn't quite make them. But Pitt drove the ball into the wind pretty well with their run game, and then kind of got after our run game quite a bit when we were trying to go against the wind. But the key part of the game was we had the ball on the 1 yard line or half yard line and didn't score. They went down and scored. So great goal line stand on their part, and disappointing on our part, but very good football game. Obviously, we're disappointed, but Pitt, really came up big with that goal line stand. I think that was the key.
Yeah, I give them credit. They brought a lot of pressure and did things to confuse us, and maybe I didn't get rid of the ball fast enough, but just give them credit. They played very well on D, and we didn't make enough plays.
Having a lead a couple of times in this ball game maybe feels like this one kind of slipped through your fingers a little bit. Can you talk on that?
Yeah, this game definitely went back and forth. A battle on both defensive sides. We were running with them, the whole game, but gave up the big play, and that's what we can't do on defense. And that led to scores, and they came out with the victory.
Okay, so you can talk about Pitt's drive during the third quarter. I mean, they took about 12 minutes off. They only got a field goal. Did that take a lot out of your defense, just being on the field that long?
No, I don't think it really took a lot out of our defense. They did sustain a drive for a long period, but hey, we only gave up 3 points right there, and that was huge for us. If they would have scored a touchdown, that would have took us right out of the ball game. But only giving up a field goal, I think that gave our defense maybe even a little confidence.
We had 4 chances at it, 2 yards, and we should be able to get that, but it didn't happen. Give credit to Pitt State. They got a good push, and it just didn't happen. And it was frustrating, but we kept battling to the end of the game, and it's just kind of the way we are.
They did. They churned out the majority of the third quarter on that drive, and like Casey said, it was great to just hold them to a field goal. So it wasn't a backbreaker, but it took the quarter out of our hands, really, as far as being able to run some of the stuff you wanted to run. So it was a key drive in the game, no question. But I was proud of the way our defense, forced the field goal, and really the defense played very well all game. A couple big plays here or there, but the score by Bryce, and it was kind of frustrating day offensively because we couldn't really get anything sustained. And so we were just we were real choppy on offense, and not like typical. We're usually a lot smoother than that. And contribute to their defense. They had good pressure, and some of the quick routes that we like to go to just didn't have an opportunity to throw them some of the time with the wind. But it was when you're in November, end of November, that's what you're going to get. You got to be able to run the ball better than we did.
Yeah, I feel like we had a great season. We worked hard in the off season, and our goals were playoffs or bust, and we got in there and won a game and got 10 wins, and that's never been done, like you said. And it's just disappointing that it ended like this. But we got a great bunch of guys and good senior class, and I'm just proud of everyone.
So we started off today. We were right before we came out. Our players were real quiet, and they didn't have much to say, which is a little unusual because normally they're excited and pounding on the door, and Gus is pounding back on the other side. And right before we come out, it's pretty intense. And today everybody's pretty quiet. And I asked Zach if we were all right. I said, "Are we okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, Coach." He said, "Our team meeting last night, just trust me, we're good. We're ready to go." And he was exactly right. Our guys were ready to go, even though we got off to an auspicious start again. Our defense played with some phenomenal intensity. The goal line stand down there was awesome. Just an outstanding goal line stand. And offensively, we played excellent at times. We weren't as consistent as we'd like to be, obviously, but from the first time we played them to this time, we were much better in the special teams. And well, I tell you what, our overall focus intensity today was absolutely excellent.
Are you ready?
I mean, personally, and I think for a lot of the seniors, it was evidence of the most emotional team meeting that we've had, and so I felt very good going into the game, knowing that we were set on not letting it be our last game, and we understood that when we were leaving our team meeting. You know, as a unit, you know, there's only 54 guys in there, so it seemed weird for a home game to have our team meeting when there weren't, you know, a number of guys in there. There was a lot fewer than normal, and so the atmosphere was a little different, but the emotions were running very high, and it made me feel very good about what we're going to do today. You know, it turned out being very strategic for us because we had the opportunity to eat up a bunch of clock, and while we had the wind blowing into us instead of allowing Washburn to have the wind, you know, with their offense. So to eat up as much time was very crucial, and I'm sure that factored into their play calls, coaches' play calls, and we executed well. We executed like we needed to execute on until the very end there. You know, we kind of botched getting the first down, so we had to end up settling for a field goal. But you know, it turns out to be all right. You know, in future events, it might not. So we have to make sure that we can cap off a drive with a touchdown rather than a field goal. Of course, we'd want that. At all means necessary. So, but you know, great execution and great play calling as long as we can eat up the clock.
Our seniors have done an outstanding job with their leadership and the things that they've done throughout the summer. And again, our coaching staff has done a good job of making these guys work hard and make them be accountable for everything. But for the most part, it's the same group of guys where you're older, you're stronger, you're smarter, and they just a great group of players and great leadership with our older kids that's really made a difference.
I don't know. You know, I'm just usually you know, when my number's called, you know, I can go in there and try to do my job. If that's cutting, running, you know, whatever they want me to do. Linemen did a great job blocking. It was easy for me to make the reads, and you know, pretty much a good day because of linemen.
Defensive backs did a great job of covering and hiding their coverage, so Seminole doesn't know what's coming and he can just catch the ball and get rid of it. Our coaches also did a great job calling the plays and, you know, keeping everything hidden from Dane because he's very smart and he can, if he sees it, he's gonna catch the ball and get rid of it. So the credit goes to them. You know, we just got off the ball and did our job.
Mandel's a young man that we decided early on not to redshirt, and then, you know, personnel groups kind of changed throughout the season. We didn't get him, you know, we didn't play him as much as we would have liked to several times throughout the season. He has played here and there, though, and played on some special teams. But it was a nice little compliment that Coach Rampy and Coach Wells came up with on, you know, handing the ball to him off what normally is a formation that will go outside, you know, to the edge with John Brown. So him carrying his fake out there and then hammering Mandel up inside was a nice adjustment.